Wave Sound Audiobooks presents an unabridged recording of Wings Above the Mallee by Léonie Kelsall, narrated by Casey Withoos. 1. Amelia. "It's the freedom, isn't it?" Amelia said, raising her voice over the throb of the Cherokee's engine. It took a long minute for Gavin to pull his attention from the windscreen, where the coast of the Fleurieu Peninsula unfurled below them. The blue-green shade of the ocean was edged on one side with a narrow border of white sand, then spread to the horizon in ever-deepening shades of azure and cobalt. Amelia had to keep an eye on the altimeter as Gavin brought them in low over the great rounded dome of the bluff, the headland beyond Victor Harbour. With more than 1,700 beaches in South Australia, many of them wild, rugged, and inaccessible, only a fraction had names. But Amelia had carefully plotted their route for King's Beach, knowing the inaccessibility of the frigid waters in the bay would keep most water-level spectators out, giving them a better chance of sighting a whale, although October was late in the season. Not that the mammals looked at all impressive from the air, despite being twice the length of the Piper Cherokee. Even if she piloted the plane right down to the legal limit of 300 metres, unless the whales were fin-slapping or breaching, there was nothing to give any sense of scale. They looked like grey logs, wallowing gently with the tide. "There's a cow," Gavin exulted. Amelia chuckled, rethinking her cynicism. To her, the whales didn't look much unless they were performing, but this was the first time Gavin had been out whale sighting, and despite his years, he was taking to it with all the enthusiasm of a kid at the zoo. "Guess it's not the kind of cow you're used to spotting from up here, though, right?" Gavin twisted in the small seat to look at her, although he only allowed his faded blue eyes to rest for a moment before turning back to the panorama. The plane banked right, and Amelia slid her gaze to the altimeter again. As Gavin was already flying unlicensed, there wasn't much point trusting him to maintain the legal altitude. Like everyone else, Gavin assumed that because she hailed from cattle country up the far north of South Australia and had flown into town in her 20-year-old Jabiru, Amelia was a stock musterer. But the Fraser family station had primarily used helicopters, so she had been ground-based, serving her apprenticeship in the flies and the dirt, mustering by horseback, doing bore runs, climbing the tall metal windmills to make running repairs, and rewiring the fences that doe-eyed feral camels nonchalantly walked right through like they were made of cobwebs. Since she was 15, Amelia had been determined to learn every facet of the beef business so that she could one day take over the station.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?